Hello friends, so again let us start with the next point. So let us use some standard cases to explain the relation or the expressions of slope and deflection. So here I have considered one standard case. So you can see I have considered a simply supported beam AB which is subjected to a central point load having magnitude W at point C. Okay, so here this is what we are having a deflected shape. Okay, so here this, let us consider this as a deflected shape. Okay, so this is a simply supported beam having span L subjected to a central point load W. So obviously it is subjected to central point load, so the reaction at A and B will be W by 2 W by 2, 50-50%. So by symmetry we can say that RA and RB is equal to W by 2. Okay, then next what I am going to consider is consider any section XX at a distance X from A. So here I have considered a section XX. So let us consider this as a simply supported beam. Okay, so at a distance XX, at this distance from this, let us consider a section. So what does it is showing now? So here okay, so what I have written here is that consider a section XX, consider a section XX at a distance X from A. Okay, so for this section which we have considered here at a distance X from this point A, if we call this as A and this as B, so this is a beam. Okay, so at distance XX, so I can write here an equation regarding this as mx is equal to bending moment at that section. So for bending moment I can write mx is equal to RA into x. So obviously I am considering this section and left side of this section, so this is the left side, so here it will be RA and this is x. So RA into x will be the bending moment at this section XX. So by considering this, again I can write what is mx. So already we have gone through what is mx, so we have derived one equation regarding the moment and the slope previously. So that equation, let us go to it again. So here, so m is nothing but it is equal to EI d square y by dx square, or 1 upon r is equal to m by EI. By considering that same equation I can write here, so mx is EI into d square y upon dx square. So it is by considering equating the moment equation to the term that we have already seen, the relation between the radius of curvature, the moment and the slope. So I can write here mx equal to, or equate mx is equal to EI d square y upon dx square. So what is mx now for considering this particular beam? It is equal to mx is nothing but RA into x. So RA is now W by 2. So I can write EI d square y upon dx square is equal to W by 2 into x. Okay, now this will be my main governing equation. Okay, so this is now main governing equation. So for this governing equation, let us integrate it first. So after integrating it, I can write this equation as EI dy by dx is equal to W by 2 into x square by 2, that is integration of x plus c1, which is the constant. Now this equation I am calling it as a slope equation. already we have seen that once I integrate that governing equation, I will get one equation. That equation is nothing but slope equation, because we are getting a term as dy by dx. So here you can observe that this term is dy by dx multiplied with the modulus of rigidity, that is constant, modulus E into I. So again I can write E into I is equal to E into I into dy by dx is equal to w by 4 x square plus c1, which I am calling it as slope equation. So it is after the first integration. Let us again integrate it one more time. So what we will have? So we will have it as ei into y is equal to w by 4. So what is integration of x raised to x square is x cube by 3 plus integration of c1 is c1x plus c2 plus c2. So that equation we are considering is now called as the deflection equation, because we are having y here. Okay, so this is by a double integration method. So why it is called a double integration method? Because you have seen that, so we have integrated the first equation of movement first time, and again for that integrated equation we have integrated second time. So therefore it is called as the double integration method, but which is not used mostly. By making use of this same double integration method, or making it as a basic theory, another one method is developed which is called as the Macaulay method. So let us now go for the next method, which is always or frequently asked in your university theory examination. The method is called as the Macaulay method. Okay, so this method is very useful to calculate the slope and deflection of any beam which is carrying any type of load. Any type of load means it may carry, so any type of load. So let us consider this as a beam. So this beam may carry a point load, it may carry a UDL, it may carry a moment also. So these are the types of load the beam may carry, and to calculate the slope and deflection for these all types of load, we are making use of the Macaulay method. Okay, so this method is very useful. So this method can be applied for the following situation. So here I have listed out some situation where this method can be applied. So first situation is a UDL acting over entire span with or without point load. A UDL acting on a particular distance, okay, at the center of beam or at any end point of beam. Okay, so for those conditions it is useful. Again, in this method a single equation is formed for all loadings on the beam. The equation is constructed in such a way that even though the equation of bending moment is different for different portion of the beam, the same constant of the integration are valid for all portion. The method is applicable to simply supported cantilever and overhanging beam. So let me explain this all what I have said now, how we are applying this to the double integration method to calculate slope and deflection. Okay, so let us consider again this. I will copy this picture so it will be better to okay, it will be better to know what exactly we are seeing. Okay, so let us consider this. So I will zoom it out for okay now. So let us consider a simply supported beam. So I think you can clearly see this, a simply supported beam. So here A, B is the simply supported beam which I have considered having support at A and B. So let us consider a point load having a magnitude W acting at a point C. So here I am not saying that it is acting at the exact center. So it is acting at any distance a from the left hand A to point C, at point C, and let us consider B as the remaining distance. Okay, so here is the case that a simply supported beam subjected to point load acting at a distance A from the support A and at a distance B from the support B. So obviously we have to calculate first now the reaction. So RA will be WB by L and RB will be WA by L. Okay, so here you can see RA and RB. RA and RB. Okay, so let me continue. So again, just in a method of double integration method, what we have written one governing equation to calculate the bending moment. So here also I am considering a section XX. Now here you can see where I have considered a section after this point load. I will consider a section XX at a distance X from the support A. So I will now write a equation to calculate a bending moment at this section XX, which is considered after a point load. Okay, so here, but obvious, I can write mx is equal to this WB by L, which is RA, into X. Mx is equal to WB by L, that is RA into X. So this equation will be valid only if this X or this section is acting before or on the left of this point load W. So are you getting it? What I mean to say is that I have written one equation here is that mx is equal to WB by L, which is RB into X, but this equation is valid only and only if this section XX is acting at this distance A or on the left of C. But we have considered the section on right of this point load W, so the equation will be like this. So mx is equal to W by A, mx is equal to W by A, WB by L into X, minus, we have to minus quantity of this moment of this W. So moment of this W is nothing but this is W into lever arm. Now this lever arm will be this distance X minus this A, distance X minus A. Okay, so here I have written that now the mx will be WB by L, that is RA into X minus W into X minus A. Now this equation is considered as the governing equation, which will be valid to calculate the bending moment at any point. Okay, so next let us integrate it. Okay, let us integrate it. So I can write this equation as mx is equal to EI dy by dx or d square y upon dx square is equal to WB by L into X minus W into X minus A, and intentionally I have drawn a vertical line here before this point, or this considering the second term, that is moment of point load. Okay, so I have considered here a point, so this is nothing but this is considered by macules. Okay, so thus here it is convenient to take a section XX at a portion. So here we have considered a section XX. Now what we will do, we will integrate it first. So I will write an equation directly. If I integrate it, so the equation will be EI if I integrate it, the equation will be EI d square y upon dx square is equal to, what I have written is RB into X minus the, it is written in term w into x minus a. So this is governing equation what we have written. Okay, I think you can understand it clearly. So if I integrate it, I can write it as this square term will go and the equation will be somewhat ei dy by dx is equal to rb into x square divided by 2, the same line, minus w x minus a, this bracket square divided by 2, okay, plus c1. Now this term c1 is constant. Okay, but what Maculus has suggested that instead of writing this term c1 here, it must be written before this point. Before this point means where I have put this. So c1 is always written before here. So the equation will be rb into x square by 2 plus c1, and then this line minus wx square by 2 into divided by 2. Okay, so what does it mean? That now this constant c1 will be valid if the section is considered before this line xx or before this section line. If it is acting at this point load on left hand side of point load, it will be valid, and if it is this section is acting on right hand side of point load, again it is valid. So this is why this method is very useful, that this constant is applicable, for or for the section if it is varying from one point to another point, or whatever point it is, on which point it is acting. Again, by integrating first, we are getting this equation, we are calling this as a slope equation. So again, if we integrate it, we will get ei y. So I will explain it directly. Again, if we integrate it, ei y, we will get ei y into w rb into x cube by 6. It will be x cube by 3 into 2 is 6 into c1. Now c1 constant, it will become c1x. This c1 integration of c1 will be c1x plus c2, the second constant, and again after the line minus w into x minus a cube divided by 6. So that is the method or second integration, the equation that we will get. Now this method is proposed by Maculus. So this method is very useful. So you will better understand it when we will solve some problems related to it. Okay, and side by side we will see the methods of moment area and conjugate beam method. So we will solve one typical problem with all these three methods, that is by Maculus method, by moment area method, and by the conjugate beam method. So you will better understood what is the difference and how we are calculating the slope and the deflection, or how we are writing the governing equation for the same. Okay, so thank you very much. In next lecture I will solve some problems related with it. So it is just an introduction regarding how the governing equation is written. Okay, thank you.